All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to explore a completely radical new way of looking at ADHD and burnout. I want you to just forget everything you think you know about disorders and exhaustion for a minute. We're going to look at this through a totally different lens, the lens of the architect. And the idea here is that this isn't about a system failure. It's about a high-performance system that was just put in the wrong environment.
And this quote right here, this is the core idea we're working with today. It completely flips the script. The idea isn't that your mind is just some thing stuck inside your head. It's that your very being, exists inside a field of mind. It's an energetic reality that, and this is the key, you can actually learn to navigate. This is how you become the architect of your own life.
So let's talk about that central conflict, that paradox that so many of you know all too well. You've got a brain that's like a Ferrari engine, right? It's incredibly fast, it connects ideas in these brilliant, unique ways, but somehow that powerful engine has completely stalled out. It's led to a total crash. So the question is, how is that even possible?
Well, this is where it all starts to make sense. The crash wasn't a personal failure, not at all. It was the result of this immense energetic friction. Think about it. For years, you've been trying to jam your high-frequency, multidimensional system into a world that just demands linear thinking and a one-size-fits-all pace. That constant friction, that's what caused the whole system to overheat and shut down.
And that brings us to our first big aha moment. We are going to completely challenge the idea that the ADHD brain is somehow defective. We're going to start re-engineering how you perceive your own mind.
A researcher named M.L. Kersey has this incredible concept of the mind as the interface. Now get this, it's not a computer made of meat inside your skull. It's a dynamic, living, electromagnetic field. It's like you have these antennas that are always on, constantly interacting with reality around you. And this interface, it's powered by three core forces. Emotion works like magnetism, pulling experiences and people towards you. Logic gives you direction, kind of like a GPS plotting out a course. And then there's consciousness. That's the part of you that observes and directs the whole field. These three things together, they literally create your unique reality.
So here's the absolute game changer. What society often labels a disorder is actually a system with an incredibly high frequency and just enormous bandwidth. You feel things more intensely, you think way faster, you see things from all these different dimensions at once. You have this amazing potential to process massive amounts of data and energy, which, by the way, explains things like hyperfocus and wild creativity.
Okay, so we've got a new handle on the brain. Now let's tackle burnout. The traditional way of thinking calls it exhaustion. But from the architect's view, that's not quite it. It's more like a systemic short circuit. See, it's not that you ran out of fuel. It's that your internal wiring just got completely fried.
And to really get what this short circuit is, we need to talk about something called the Coherent Nexus, a term from wellness expert Nick van den IJssel. This is that sweet spot, that state of perfect inner balance, where everything is just aligned. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. When you're in the Nexus, your energy just flows. It's effortless.
And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? The world tells you, oh, you did too much, you ran out of gas. But the architect's view says, no, that's not it. Your wiring overheated because you were running on the wrong kind of fuel. You simply weren't designed for the type of energy that the neurotypical world was demanding from you.
So, what is this wrong fuel? It's dissonance. It's that feeling of always swimming upstream. That short circuit is the direct result of operating outside of your natural resonance for way, way too long. It's the price you pay for twisting yourself into knots to fit a system you were never, ever designed for. The crash, it was your system's emergency brake.
Okay, so we get it. We see why the old building fell down. Now for the fun part, the architect's blueprint for how you actually rebuild. There's a clear 3-step process to build your superversion from the ground up.
Step 1 is a full system reset. Using techniques from what's called NextGen NLP, think of it like recoding your brain's software. You can rewrite those old limiting beliefs like, I'm just chaotic, and build new habits. Step 2, you master the interface. You stop just being a sponge for everything around you and start consciously controlling your own energetic field. In step 3, you achieve coherence. You align your heart and your brain to turn all that scattered energy into a laser beam of focus. But listen, before we can build anything new and strong, we have to deal with the old foundation. We have to deconstruct the one core fear, the one single question that's been running like a virus in the background of your system, draining more energy than anything else.
There it is. Am I doing this right?
This isn't just a question. According to the architect, this one little question, this is the mother of all energy leaks. It is the real engine behind that constant storm in your head. It's the source code of your overload. And here's why it's so unbelievably draining. That question isn't a genuine search for guidance. No. It's a defense mechanism. It's a program called masking. It's where you're constantly scanning your environment, trying to see if you're fitting in, trying to copy a neurotypical norm so you don't get rejected. That constant scanning is like running a dozen antivirus programs at once. It completely overloads your processor.
So it's time to just throw out that old map. In this new model, right and wrong are totally useless words. There is only resonance and dissonance. Dissonance is trying to force a norm that isn't you. It feels like a constant struggle and it just drains you. But resonance? That's your natural flow. It feels effortless, and get this, it actually multiplies your energy.
I want you to just let that sink in for a second. This is so important. Your burnout wasn't a sign that you failed. It was a sign of how incredibly hard you were fighting to succeed in a game where the rules were written for somebody else entirely.
And that brings us to this final, powerful idea. The burnout wasn't the end. It wasn't a tragedy. It was a demolition, a necessary demolition. It was your system clearing away a weak foundation that could never have supported the true amazing structure you were always meant to build. And now? Now you've got a clear sight to build something authentic and something incredibly strong.
So I'll leave you with this question from the architect's blueprint. It's time to shift from just learning about this to really reflecting on it. If you could just erase all the outside noise, all the judgments, the expectations, the neurotypical mold, and just listen to your own internal system, what would doing it right actually mean for you? The answer to that question, that's where you start building.